Hey, I'm Jordan.
And I'm Ashley. We're the founders of For the Good, a community created to empower and elevate you to live a purpose-driven life.
Our mission is to bring light into our world, and to do so, we have learned that it must start within.
We are so glad to have you here with us.
Hi guys, so great to have you join me here today on our For the Good podcast. Today we'll be talking about navigating the seasons of life. Jordan and I recently took a trip to the apple orchard and we began talking about the season of life and the purpose each of them serves. Too often we fail to understand that we are currently walking in a season of life right now, and if we don't recognize which season we are in, we can miss the purpose of it. I want you to reflect on which season you are walking in today. While we wish we were in a constant state of blooming and growing, there are some seasons that can be demanding and difficult, where we are being tested, where we are growing and learning and developing into the person we are called to become. I've learned that the seasons of life are about transformation and renewal. The circumstances and situations we experience enable us to develop, expand, and reap the rewards that life brings our way. And remember, if you are experiencing a difficult time right now, just as winter gives way to spring, there are better days ahead. It's not fun to go through tough times, but if you continue to do your best while you navigate through it, you will get exactly where you are meant to be. And remember, it's so important for us not to get stuck in a past season, wishing we could stay there because we enjoyed it or dwelling on past pains and regrets. We have to remember that people change, situations change, and if we don't truly live in the present season, we're not going to get to the new season purposed for our life. It is time for you to embrace the season you are walking in right now, friend, and find out what this season has for you so you can be the best you can be. Today we are going to break down the 4 seasons of transformation and purpose, starting with summer, a season for fulfillment, celebration, and reward; autumn, a season for survival, mistakes, and problems; winter, a season for reflection, planning, and hibernation; and spring, a season for learning, thinking, and opportunity. The season of summer represents a period of our lives where everything we have been working towards finally has come to pass. All of those new habits you have built, the skills you've developed, the knowledge you've learned is paying off, and you are now enjoying the glory of everything you have managed to accomplish. And unfortunately, the summer season doesn't last. Fall can bring about disappointment, stress, frustration. Navigating from autumn to winter, the season of winter is a time for planning, self-reflection, hibernation. It can be where regret, fear, and grief are unearthed. Although during this time, even though it may be difficult, there is hope for a better future ahead. During the season of winter, you will build the foundations for spring because the self-reflection and planning itself shift and transform how you think about yourself and your life. And then spring is a time that often brings about excitement, hope, and a sense of purpose and new direction. I want you to take some time right now to reflect on how each season has had an impact on your life. Think about what it has taught you and the purpose each has served. I've learned that the seasons of life are here to teach us lessons about ourselves, others, and the world around us. In each one, we grow emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And inevitably, they all build up to bring us into the person that we are called here to become. Each one transforms your personality and strengthens your character and resiliency. So yes, we all experience these times of hardship and we wish we didn't have to, but it is in the season of autumn, the time of difficulty, hardship, where I've grown the most. It is where I've strengthened myself in ways I never knew possible. Know that every season and every experience within them all can serve a great purpose in your life. We move through the seasons of life many times over the course of our lifetime, and the seasons of life don't necessarily cycle from summer to autumn to winter to spring and then back to summer again. They can shift and change any which way depending on our emotional choices and the decisions we make on a daily basis. I believe that life is about transformation. It's about change. And most importantly, it's about evolution of self. Every experience that you've had, no matter how you may perceive it, it serves a purpose to help develop you into who you are called to become. It was in the autumn seasons of my life when I experienced times that really tested my strength and my faith, but it is also when my resiliency was being built up. And I didn't know it at the time, but having a parent who battled with substance abuse would one day be something I would use to help bring healing to the lives of other people. I want you to take some time to reflect on how your life has changed and transformed over time by reflecting on the highs and the lows that you have experienced. Along the way, I've learned that when we decide to view obstacles and difficulties as happening for us rather than happening to us, we will walk forward into our future with more peace and a stronger belief in acceptance and forgiveness. It is time for us to shift our perspective on how we view the obstacles in our lives, because we have the power to take what we have gone through and use it to become a beacon of light for ourselves and others. So just as the seasons in our lives come and go, whatever you are reflecting on in the space for you, people also come and go into our lives through seasons. And I think that this is such an important thing to remember when it comes to friendships and relationships, because too often, I know we've all been there, where we want a friendship or a relationship to stay forever. And I've learned that if certain people were to have stayed in my life into seasons longer than what they should have, it would have hurt and hindered me. After I graduated high school and I started college, I began having feelings within my own heart that it was time to shift, the group of people I was spending my time with. I enjoyed making these memories with people from high school, and I loved that season that I walked in with them. However, I felt within me that it was time for growth. And to be able to get to the level that I was meant for, I knew that some of those people were not able to continue moving forward with me. And that's okay. Because I feel like too often, like I mentioned, we feel like people need to continue to stay in our lives as long as possible. And you can still connect back with them, but know that it is so important when it comes to who you surround yourself with, when it comes to your growth and where you are stepping into, in relation to the purpose for your life. Because not everybody in that last season is going to celebrate you, cheer you on, encourage you. You need to be intentional and mindful about the people that you are spending your time with, and that is friendships and relationships. You are here, my friend, for a great purpose. You are here to grow, to build, to elevate, to serve, and not everybody is on that same level as you. So make sure that you are surrounding yourself with like-minded, uplifting people. As I mentioned, when I started college, I had this feeling in my heart that it was time for me to shift, who I was spending my time with. And I began writing for the newspaper. I joined a sorority that, was really focused on education and volunteering. And I just felt in my heart that I knew that it was time for me to be able to do this in order to grow. So no matter where you find yourself on your journey right now, know that you have everything within you to conquer and overcome, and that I am proud of you, because life isn't always easy. It brings with it the highest highs, as I mentioned, in the season of summer, and the lowest lows. But you have made it through. All of those highs and all of those lows, you are here. You are building up your strength. You are building up your resiliency. You are transforming into your highest self. So I want you to give yourself a pat on the back right now, a hug, a high five, whatever that looks like, because you deserve it. I dive in deeper to the seasons of life in my book called The Mountains We Climb. You can get it at forthegood.com/book, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and learn more about what we are talking about today. But I do want to share with you, as we wrap up this episode, the reflection prompts that I have included at the end of this chapter in my book, so that way it serves as a guide for you today too. The first reflection prompt is, how have I viewed times of struggle or hardship in the past? Number 2, how would it help me to shift the way I view times of difficulty? Number 3, which season of life am I currently in? What can I learn from prior seasons of my life? And the fourth prompt is, how have times of adversity strengthened my character? So you can reflect on these prompts, in your own mind, or even take pen to paper and write them down. As I wrap up this episode, Jordan and I are stepping into a new season of life right now, as this is the last podcast episode that is going to be recorded in our original For the Good podcast room. We are wrapping up our move this weekend to our new home. I am so incredibly excited because I know within my heart that this is a time for growth for us, both individually, personally, professionally, in this space of how we serve you for the good So we started our podcast in this room back in February for the first time, and I'm just so grateful for all of you guys. Thank you so much for joining us here on our For the Good podcast every week, for supporting us in this space. It has been a mission that has been so close to my heart. I strive to serve and give and help you guys along on your journeys as well. So from our hearts and our home to yours, thank you guys so much, and we are with you. We pray for you, and we hope that you enjoy this podcast episode today. Thank you guys so much again. Have a great day, everyone, and make today count.
Thanks for joining us at the For the Good podcast. We would love to connect with you. Join us on Facebook and Instagram at For the Good Official and our blog at forthegood.com. And be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode.
Remember, a positive mindset is the beginning of true happiness, not just for the good of the individual, but for the good of the world.